shift to remote work is really getting people to think, substantially different. I think there's probably a 5-year acceleration in people's mindset about, several digital transformation process, like, commerce is different, supply chains are different, but collaboration is a lot different in 2020 than it was last year. And I think that what's important is to balance an enterprise view. So now, do I have access to everything I need digitally to do my work? So that's one thing. And people, say, okay, they're getting systems in place to do that. Can I do that securely? That's another important question. People don't think about the security of files and things that are now in the workplace. The CIOs have spent decades making sure their on-premise enterprises are super fantastically safe, secure, documents, all that kind of good stuff. That's different in the remote workspace. Make sure your collaboration tools all work with each other. So the guys that seem to have an advantage in this collaboration space are kind of open software system things that work together. So, like, I'm a big, gigantic fan of Zoom. I think Zoom has is a tremendous platform. A lot of people are using that. There's other great collab platforms out there, Moxtra and others, but it's tied into important workflow things like Slack and Microsoft Teams and those kind of things around the world. So it's important to have integration. I think another dimension, if you're thinking about remote work, is there's many elements of people's business processes that aren't digitized. So if things aren't digitized, it's hard to deal with them remotely. From that standpoint. So I'm super glad that the bandwidth of the internet is where it is today. So I think if we had this pandemic 7 years ago or 10 years ago, there's no way there would have been video collaboration. I think there's been this tremendous uptake of IM globally. Past 5 years. WhatsApp is a phenomenon around the globe. We're instantly getting in touch with somebody. But what about video? And video is important to keep the connection with people remotely during all this. And I think in the early days of collaboration, it was about sharing a document. Hey, let's all go study this document so we can comment on it. Now the video collaboration is connecting with people, face to face. Let's have a conversation. You and I, Amit, are having a conversation now about what the future might look like and what are we dealing with this pandemic. But this is a much different thing over IM, and it's a much different thing over email, and it's a much different kind of conversation over the phone. So I think it's lucky in some sense that the internet speeds and performance give high fidelity two-way conversations, multi-way conversations with people these days in the middle of all this. In the middle of all this environment.